To be or not to be, that is the question. Why or why not is also a question. In fact, how? How is also a question. So when it comes to health, I feel that these are the things that really bring about the challenges of things. When I meet with clients and I talk to them, the voice that they express, the feelings that they bring across is always how? How did I get here? I don't know how this happened. Where's this pain coming from? Why me? Why did this happen? Why am I dealing with this now? Why am I stressed? Why is my health diminishing? How did I get in a state where my health is diminished? How did I get in a place where I don't feel happy about what I'm doing? How did I give up so much? Why did I give up so much? Why am I here? All these things are truly the voice of health, an expression of the people that are feeling the pressures of this. And the true answer is really within those questions. We don't know. And this is essentially the challenge brought to us. We don't know how we got to these places, but we are, in fact, here. So the answer, closer to the solution, is how do we get out? And we don't adequately know. Generally, these answers are outside of ourselves. They're found more particularly in the environments we surround ourselves with. And when you speak to somebody who has an understanding of how health discourse is, or how the environment infects your way of thinking, or how you think, or how you've kind of got to the conclusions that you got, then you can have real restoration. And this is a quiet art. This is not something that is very loud. It is in the subtleties of things that we find the true answers. It's kind of how life solves its own solutions, or solves its own mysteries, or has its conclusions to point you in the right direction. And because of these things, we have to be just as subtle to unravel them. The answer is in the question, more or less. And the number one thing as a practitioner of these things is you have to not disturb the river to be able to see through it clearly. The more you just go in and start moving stuff, is the harder it is to actually see where things are starting. There is always a physical element to a problem. Generally, physically as in an action, physically as in a manifestation of a thought, physically as the feeling of something being taken away from an individual that causes uprising to a creation of an environment surrounding the individual and then projected around them, creating a secondary environment. And because these things are so subtle, they're not known to us, because we're seeing it always from our own perspective, we can't quite solve these challenges. And they're becoming more and more evident when it comes to our own health. And this, in my mind, is the way of bringing about the power of self-care. This is why we need it so much. This is why we need a strong opinion of our health outside of ourselves, and outside of a particular practice that has a perception on what um, avenue of health we should face. For example, if you go to a mechanic, he's going to show you how a mechanic views a car, right? If you go to a distributor of cars, they're going to show you how a distributor views a car. Same way with the body. We need something that's a little bit more impartial. It's just going to show you the parts and show you that they go together, not particularly how they go together for you, because that is part of your journey. In any given time, you are going to be at least 70% of the solution, because it is surrounding you. The idea of a skilled practitioner is to be able to see these parts of you within how you live your life and bring them into reality. The parts that seem that you're not highlighting, we need to highlight them. The parts that you're highlighting too much, we need to downplay them. We need to bring about a balance kind of within your mind, which is within your body, which is how your body is viewed externally and how your personality is viewed externally. All these things should never be separated. We have three parts, three components. We have mental, physical, and emotional health. They're all a part of you. You are a part of them. They cannot really be talked about separately, but we do so to just show you how they work. And that way, when we bring them back together, you can realize that they're just a reflection of yourself, the person that is looking in the mirror. And to do this, we need a new way of looking at things, and I'm going to be introducing you. If there's no leader now, I will be the leader. If that's what it takes, I will do so. I'll be that person. If there's no guide, I will be that guide, so that there is the change that I want to see, which I feel is needed, which is going to bring about a more restorative version of health. To complete the picture that we already have most of the pieces of the puzzle for, but we need to now really start to put them together, put those last pieces of the puzzle into the picture. And this is what I'll be doing and helping you with the outlined programs that we'll be creating.